Yo, what's good, guys? We are back again on MLB The Show 23, and today's video is going to be short and sweet. It's going to be a little checklist video, a little investment opportunities video that I have noticed to make some stubs going forward for the rest of the year, right? So, we don't really know what we're going to be getting. We don't know if set 6 will just be set 6, you can use any card, or if we're going to get like a proper set 6 with cards, a new team affinity, a set 6 collection. If there is a set 6 collection, that means rest assured there will be something like team affinity or something like that in order to obtain a big chunk of those cards. So that's going to be interesting moving forward, but this video is primarily going to focus on the end of set 5 and what I think you guys should be doing moving forward with this set. So, first of all, if you're going to play BR, I would go do that now. I wouldn't save it till the last minute. It is a little sweatier towards the start of the program, but you can see you get these rewind packs, which are great if you are going for like an Ozzy Albies or something, and then you get this 99 Flawless pack. There's some awesome players in here. This J-Rod is basically the monthly. If I were you at this point, I would probably just go grind the monthly. But Skubal is awesome. He's still close to a mil, probably around 600K. Adley is awesome for now. We're going to get into some stuff later about why maybe you wouldn't want to take Adley. Darvish is cool. Marcelo's good. Britton's not a bad option. A lot of people like Dustin May when he came out. And then I'd probably say this Griffey is about the other card I would consider taking. Frank Thomas is decent, makes durability team, still is a very good card if you do like Frank Thomas. It's just a lot of people don't. A lot of these cards kind of already have better versions or will probably get a new version. I would hope Verlanders do for like a Retro Finest or something similar to the one we got at the end of last year, but we will see about that. And then these new BR cards, which are whatever. If you want some of these cards, go for it. I would say this is some of the worst BR rewards we have possibly ever gotten. You know, you have a primary DH that can't really play the field great because he's going to lose 5 fielding and 5 reaction and isn't fast to start with, so that kind of sucks. Not the best BR rewards. But if you are going to go play BR, I would do that now. Otherwise, I would say now is a great time to be playing events. You can see it expires on the 15th. I'm not sure if that is the day the season resets. I don't think it is. But this might be one of your last chances to get some of these cards, right? They kind of been refreshing these per set. I don't know if it's just you can go through the last few event rewards in these rewind packs, or if it's like set based, or if it's on like a monthly timer, but you can't go back and get like the super old cards, right? So this might be one of your last chances to get cards like this Cedric if you want, this Vlad if you want, but I would imagine a lot of these guys like Singa, Nimmo, Corbin Carroll, Tyler O'Neill, and Zach Wheeler, some of the better cards, they will still be here for a little while. So if you are interested in like Cedric or something, it would be good to grind this event out as it is here for another 11 days. So that is something to think about. Programs wise, right? If you haven't finished Team Affinity, now would be a great time to be wrapping that up because who knows if we're going to get another Team Affinity in the future. If you haven't done this Finest one, I would highly recommend that you guys go do that. It does not take very long to do. Might be the shortest program I've done all year. It is super quick to do, and that Mookie is a great card to get. If you want to do postseason, now's a good time to wrap those up. Obviously, most of the postseason cards are set 5 cards, so that is helping you to get some of the set 5 collections if you want those cards. This is probably the least important doing the set collection has ever been this year, just because, the ranked pool of cards is going to open up to everybody, right? You don't have to go get this Ohtani because, the Ohtani from the start of the year, if you'd rather use that one, is going to be available soon. So you don't have to go do a lot of these cards. I would kind of prioritize doing the cards will make your set 6 lineup. I wouldn't focus on the short term. Like Mookie, if you run the durability team, I think he's a no-brainer. He's going to make pretty much every lineup. Corey Seager, awesome card. Makes a lot of people's lineups. If you like Adolis, he makes a decent amount of lineups. I just don't think he cracks the best outfield in the game. I would say he's probably not worth going out of your way to do at this point. Juan, right? Maybe the best lefty DH in the game other than like Babe Ruth. So you put him on durability team. There is absolutely nothing wrong with him. He has an awesome swing with all the quirks. If you want your DH for the rest of the year, it could very easily be Juan Soto. Other than that, Miggy, Wainwright, if you want those two cards, they are very good in their own right. J Rod, right? That's what I was alluding to. Why would you want the BR one when this one's the pretty much exact same? They both make the durability team, and this one's free. So if you want a free J Rod, but don't want to go play the BR games, I would go do this one. Topps Now. This is worth mentioning. If you did not get any set collection cards that you wanted, if you didn't, I'll go over it more when we get there, but if you didn't get a card, Topps Now is going to be the easiest way to get a lot of cards. Topps Now in the monthly will be the easiest way for that. This Bellinger, if you're not worried about Team Affinity, but you still want a Bellinger, this one is almost as good as the Team Affinity one. Just lacks a little bit of the power. Extreme Griffey is probably the least worth it he's ever been because we will be getting that Charisma Griffey back from the first BR set. So we will have a easily available Griffey that probably won't cost too much and most people can get by doing the BR program. So if you have kind of put the Extreme program off, now would not be the time I would go grind it. If you are going to grind it, I would grind it for Ketel Marte. This is probably the best Marte on paper for sure. Put him on the shortstop team. He plays the best defense and plays the best outfield of any Marte card. So if you want a good Marte, that's probably your best bet. If you want a good Ohtani to pitch with, this is probably the best one to pitch with. He is probably better than the set collection. So I would go get that Griffey, or that Ohtani. I was looking at King Griffey Jr. here in the Father's Day. Would not touch that. We have a finest Judge, so I wouldn't do Judge. Mexico City could be a good thing to look into doing if you are looking at getting Ozzy Albies. But I wouldn't worry about it if you're going for the Seager, right? Because why would you go do that Seager when it's going to run you a couple million stubs when you could just go get the playoff one for free with a couple hours of grinding? So those are the programs I would be looking at doing. And I'm going to get into the collections I would be thinking about doing. Right, so set 5. Like I said, this is the least important it's ever been. William Contreras is probably the best card on paper out of all of these. This Ohtani is a horrendous pitcher. His pars are massive. His sinker par is half the strike zone on All-Star. It might be the worst control I've seen on a pitch all year from a top-end starter. He sucks. Bo Bichette does not play good defense and can't play any secondary positions, so I don't love him. But if you do really enjoy the swing, he would be a serviceable DH or a non-defensive oriented shortstop. Would not be a terrible option moving forward. If you are looking at any set 4 cards, right, I would be trying to get possibly all 3 of these. If you mainly want to play Mookie in the outfield, I would probably lean to the snapshot one over the finest one just because of the speed, especially if you put him on the shortstop speed. I think he shortstop team, I think he ends up with like 92 speed. So I would prioritize this Mookie over the finest one. Kluber probably makes the best 5 starters in the game at the end of the year. So he is a lock for the rotation. If you haven't gone and got him and you play on higher difficulties, he is extremely good to go ahead and get. And then Jimmy Fox in his secondary position of catcher is one of the best catchers in the game by far, especially offensively oriented. And he's not completely awful behind the dish either. Also has that speed. Really finding catchers with this speed where it's not like real Muto speed, but it's like very serviceable. They run the bases well. It's like him, it's like Adley, and it's like Joe Mauer. So those are kind of the 3 best catchers in the game off of my head. I guess Santana is very good also if you want a switch hitter, but I think he's going to get phased out because of this set 3 collection, right? So set 3, obviously you're not doing Acuna at this point if you haven't already done him. You're getting the XP one, the milestone one. But Adley, this Adley is a lot better than the BR Adley we have right now. You can see without the durability boost, he's almost max contact, max power. He's very fast and he's insane fielder. So you put him on the durability team, he is max contact with great power. And this card plays insane. This is the best version of Adley. If you did grind out the BR one and you're attached to it, or maybe you like the card art more or something like that, then it's not the biggest difference in the game. But if you ask me who the best catcher in the game is, who the best catcher for the durability team moving forward is, it's this version of Adley Rutschman, and you get him by doing the set 3 collection. So you might want to look back at doing that. A lot of these cards are super cheap, right? Granderson is quick sell value, and that's kind of the case for a lot of these. You can knock out the team affinity. That's another thing. This is one of the most worth it team affinities to do because you get this Corbin Carroll, which some people like. I will not voice my opinion on him in this video because I don't like him a lot. But you also get this J-Ram, who is also probably a lock for the best team in the game. Definitely a lock for the best durability team in the game. One of the best cards I've used all year. He is an awesome card, and you can do him in the team affinity and also get to that Adley Rutschman. Also, if you're a Braves fan and you like Austin Riley, this is the best version of Austin Riley in the game. You get him by doing, half a collection and a half of this. So go knock out the set 3 team affinity, and you get J-Ram and you get Adley Rutschman. So you're getting like a top 3 third baseman, a top 3 second baseman, depending on where you want to play J-Ram at. You're getting Austin Riley, who, if you like his swing, is top of the top at third base. He is a decent option in left field, and you're getting Adley Rutschman. Set 3 is a great one to go back and retrospectively do. It is one of the better ones. So set 2, there's really only one card I would consider end game out of this one. It's this Randy Johnson. In my opinion, he is better than the chase card Randy, but the chase card Randy is similar enough to where if you wanted to just go spend the subs, I think he was like 600K the last time I saw him, then you could definitely go ahead and go do that. But for me personally, I would rather just go back, grind some tops now, maybe grind half of the team affinity and get this Randy Johnson. If you want David Wright, then that would be a decent option too. It's just for me, I don't really love his swing. And then set 1, obviously, this is probably the hardest one to get 1 for, and it's probably the hardest one to get all 3 for. I've said it before, I think Pedro is probably like the rarest card in the game just because a lot of people did not get all the cards necessary to go out and get all 3 of these, and Pedro was the last pick for most people. You pretty much never see that Pedro. You would get Chipper Jones, who I think is probably the best third baseman in the game. And if not, then he is probably the best DH in the game. Pretty much been a lock for the lineup all year. And then you get Babe Ruth, who is the best left-handed first baseman in the game. Probably the best left-handed DH in the game. It's between him and Juan Soto. And then if you wanted to go get Pedro just for the rarity, you could do that also. This Trey Turner, super good. Makes a durability team. The power is a little noticeable, but he is better than, in my opinion, than the Team Affinity one from this season. So if you want the best version of Trey Turner, it would be this Trey Turner. If you want the best version of Jazz Chisholm, it's close between this one and the Team Affinity one. This one being on the durability team, it is what it is. If you want a good version of Jazz, that's an easy way to go out and get that one. But I would really be looking to go back and do some of those older sets. Also, we're getting the core collection, or we have the core collection, right? I don't know if they will update this throughout the year. I don't know if every card that comes out after set 6 will just be a core card, or if it'll be a set 6 card, or I don't know how they'll do that. But if you do want Ozzy Albies, now would be a good time to go grind him. Go get those BR cards since they are in Rewind. And then eventually you could get him, right? The more BRs you miss, obviously, the more expensive it gets to go ahead and fill that out. If you haven't done your Go This collection in a while, go ahead and do that. there are some decent rewards in there: 75K, 50 the show packs, a chase pack that you could hit big on. And yeah, so I like that a lot. The last thing I'm going to talk about was the investment opportunities moving forward. I need to mute this for you guys so it's not buzzing in your ear. Some of these bosses are very good, and I could see their price go up. I'm sure in a forever program, we would probably get a choice pack where one of these would be pickable. Um, this is probably the best Vlad will get all year. He will probably, I'd be looking to buy in like the last 5 days of this season, somewhere around there. That's usually about when they bottom out. Usually the last day, they kind of get a little more of a surge as people start to rebuy. But in that last 5 day period, this is going to be the best Vlad we get all year for sure. So, Vlad's always a popular player. A lot of people want to use Vlad. Wouldn't be a bad buy if he gets super cheap. Cal Raleigh, there's not too many great switch hitting catchers. Obviously, Santana and Adley are better than him. But as a more budget option, I could see his price going back up eventually. This Ellie, this is the best Ellie in the game for people that don't have the chase card one, right? The chase card one's like 600K. As far as a cheaper option to use Ellie, because people are going to want a switch hitting shortstop that plays the best defense in the game. So I think this one will probably go back up eventually. And then Lizardo is a very good lefty option in the starting rotation, has an outlier sinker. I could see his price going up as well. But the main investment opportunity, I think, is this Acuna. This is the best Acuna in the game. We're not going to get another one for the rest of the year, obviously. He's the MVP for a reason. This card is gross. It blows the All-Star card out the water. And it's just the best by a mile. You can see he's still very expensive, but I could see him going up and up and up as the year goes on. I don't think they would ever put him in like a forever program or anything. So I think we would see something very similar to a player we had earlier in the year here. Let me just sort. I would assume he'd be a free agent. John Donaldson. I think this card got down to like 15K at one point. You can see buy orders for him were around 15K. You probably could have got him as low as close to 11, it looks like, at one point. So this is a card where I would expect his price to keep rising, just because he's going to come back into everybody's rotation. If you don't have John Donaldson, that would be a good time to go back and retrospectively buy him, because I don't know if they're going to put those XP reward players from the past back into like a forever program. This might be the last time you can ever get this Ronald Acuna, and I know there are a lot of them on the market, but he is going to be probably the best right fielder in the game, at least on paper. For the foreseeable future, I could see his price going up. I could even see John going back up after this. But that's pretty much it, guys. Just wanted to check in and show all you guys what I would be looking for moving forward. I'm looking forward to making set 6 lineup videos, and finally, unleashing the best team possible moving forward. But that's pretty much it, guys. Until next time, peace.